Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your spirit guide message reading for you on facing obstacles and being overwhelmed. In these turbulent times, I feel like this is just so very important. So let's see what the cards have to say. Let's step back, breathe for a moment, and yeah, just be present in our own lives. Now, if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm because it's all the things the YouTube algorithm likes. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. Okay. Just taking it all in for a moment here, Scorpio. What's so interesting is that we're starting with the Five of Wands reversed. We are crowned with this energy of releasing tension and pettiness and getting in the caught up in the drama of everything that, pulls us down, lowers our energy, makes us feel overwhelmed, makes us feel like we can't move forward. So here with the Five of Wands crowning us, there is an energy here of like, I need to release it. I need to release it. I need to focus on what's important and not be dragged down by the nonsense of people, of the world, of pettiness, of anger, of fear, and it moves us. I don't mean that that's nonsense because it's so very real, but it also has a way of just taking over your life. You become afraid, and all of a sudden, the fear compiles, and it weighs heavy on your heart and your soul and yourself. And it makes me emotional, but it makes it hard to move forward. And I've been seeing that a lot lately, feeling that a lot lately. And with the 10 Pentacles, it's prosperity and success and bounty and abundance. It's being part of a community and seeing that community is important. So that's going to be very interesting. This is also generational wealth, generational success, generational prosperity. You're not in this alone. Even if you're saying, but Dane, I'm the only one here. You have people on the other side, your angels, your spirit guides, those who love you and care for you, building you up, wanting you to succeed. So if you sit there and you get this feeling like, oh my gosh, this person's present, like, oh my gosh, this is here, like they are. They are. It's not some silly thing. It's a powerful thing. And we're going to see that we're putting things back into perspective and back into balance. And we're finding a balance and a harmony within our lives and within ourselves. And the Nine of Wands is giving yourself some grace. You feel battered and you feel bruised. You're overwhelmed. You've been through a lot. You might find that, especially like in your shoulder area, like I don't know what exactly it is, like where the arm goes into the shoulder type of thing, the shoulder ball thing here, that can be very, very sore. So just be mindful about this. We can hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, in our neck, headaches, from stress. But there's just a sense of having to stand vigilant, having to stand guard, having to fight one battle after another after another. And the Hermit is, I don't want to turn in anymore. Like, I'm tired of this. The Hermit is also Virgo energy. Okay. So if we have Virgo energy in our chart, if we're Virgo, well, no, if we're Virgo, if we have Virgo energy in our chart, if we have Virgo energy in our lives, that comes through very powerfully. And that's going to be a part of our personality that kind of like pokes at us. So just be mindful about this here because we don't want to turn inward. And Spirit is saying, but we need to sit in silence. And that's going to be one of the last things that we want to do with the Empress. Okay. The Empress is the nurturing maternal energy of the tarot. Okay. We can be having some difficulty with that. We can have some, you know, some questions as we move forward. What is my path? What am I meant to nurture? What is it that I love? What is it that I want? How is it that I'm meant to move forward? Here that can very much be a fear of ours. And the fear can overwhelm everything else and take away of the beauty of everything else. So being mindful about this and being aware of this is going to be a very important thing. The Empress is also, we're not seeing our magic. We're holding everything inside. Okay, it's interesting because we don't want to look inside, but we're holding everything inside instead of moving forward, instead of embracing a healing, instead of opening up the doors. And that is going to be a powerful thing to come to the realization of during this time and for ourselves. So let's see here what the spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a shamrock in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on Sunday. So keep your eyes open for that, and good luck to everyone. Oh, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when the announcement comes up. The video is put up every Sunday announcing the winner. And yeah, so if you want to hit that notification bell, you'll be aware when that video is put up. So this is positivity. It is time to embrace the positive. It is so easy in the world with everything that's going on. It is so easy to spiral into the negative, to sit there and say, it's not enough. I'm not enough. I'll never be enough. I will never be able to move forward, and forget all the positive, beautiful things in our life and for ourselves. So this is going to be a time that it's very important to look at positivity, because we're going to have a tendency not to. We're going to look at the negative things, what needs to be done, how we're not moving forward, in the positivity for ourselves, and how we're going to need to. Our life does not need to look like everybody else's. It is our own unique story. The obstacles we have faced have been overwhelming, and they have worn us down and weared at us. It's like I just am seeing the water coming over a stone, right? It wears at the stone over time. No matter how strong you are, it wears at you. And this is going to be a time for us where we kind of have to step back and say, I see you, right? I see you hurt. I see you pain. I see you disappointments. I'm not living in you anymore. And that might even be that we're letting go of certain dreams that we had, certain ideas of the way our life would go, or, how things would unfold, and say, but I stand in my reality now. That dream propelled me forward. That dream sustained me through really hard times. I'm living in the reality of now. It moves us to our energy to be mindful of. Not mindful of. It moves us to our chakra energy, angels. Ooh. Oh, what came right out is the heart chakra, and then the throat chakra. The heart chakra with forgiveness. That just is so sweet, to open the heart to forgiveness, not only to everybody else, but also to ourselves. And then as we forgive everybody else, it's lightening our own burden. So we can do it totally selfishly. This is not something that we have to be like all altruistic about, but moving forward in forgiveness and caring, in love, in compassion, because it lightens our step as we move forward, embracing our heart chakra. So our heart chakra doesn't have a big blockage around it. It's like our heart is heavy. Our heart has been heavy. We have had to face things, see things, experience things, live through things, globally, individually, that made us look at life in a very different way. It has been scary. It has been overwhelming. It could be scary, it could be overwhelming. You might not be scared or overwhelmed, but here, there's the power of forgiveness moving us forward. And what Spirit says here is to listen, and we're not listening. So this is the throat chakra, and we have a blockage in our throat chakra, which is so funny because I always think of the throat chakra as like, chatting, and just being little songbirds chatting away. But it's also listening. The songbirds, they hop from tree to tree, they twitter, but they also listen. They also are paying attention to the world around them, because there's a lot that they need to pay attention to. Embracing the art of listening, focusing on our throat chakra. As I always say, humming, chanting the Om Mani Padme Hum chant is absolutely beautiful, right? So good for our throat chakra. It helps our thyroid. And we can see ourselves starting to heal. We can see ourselves moving forward in ways that we hadn't imagined that we could. And as we do so, we just start listening to our world, listening to ourselves, but also listening to our fears, listening to what has held us back. And it's like acknowledging those fears, because they're there for a reason, right? Acknowledging what has held us back, but also, why have we been held back? What has kept us frozen or made it hard for us to walk towards what we truly love and truly desire? It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is the Queen of Swords. the Queen of Swords, like there's a reason why the Queen of Swords gets a bad reputation. There's a deck out there. It's the King Arthur deck, I believe, or one of the renditions of it. It's very similar to the Llewellyn deck, which I'm using now. But that deck has the Queen of Swords as, you know, Morgan and, you know, Mordred are the King and Queen of Swords, you know, the bad guys in the story. And the Queen of Swords kind of has that reputation. So whenever I see it in the area to be mindful of, whenever I see it in a reverse position, I always think of that deck because it's always so, I always think it's so biased. The Queen of Swords is the energy of the mind. And when it's in, like, hey, be mindful about this, we have a tendency during this time, but we just have a tendency, Scorpio, to be super hard on ourselves. Okay? Super hard on ourselves. We'll pick out all our flaws. We will hit ourselves where it hurts the most and say, well, you think you're successful? You don't have XYZ. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. All right? It's not moving forward like this. It's not moving forward like that. And that's fine and fair enough. But we have to stop ripping ourselves apart because that's not helping us. It's keeping us in a place that we do not want to be because it's keeping us in that place of fear. Negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts, they're going to come up. They just do. It's nice like that, right? Being a human being. But we do not get to be ruled by them anymore. We will also have a tendency during this time to listen to the negativity that people say. People will say negative, hurtful, hateful things, and we will think, well, you know what? There has to be some truth in it, right? Why would they say it if there wasn't? People are allowed their opinions. Had my first ever boss, I remember he told me one time, he said, and I was very, very young, and he said to me, Dane, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has ones, and they usually spew shit. And I remember, excuse my language for that, but I remember being so flawed because, first of all, I had known him for like ever, and he cursed, and I was young, and I thought that was so funny. I was a teenager, thought that was so funny, and I never forgot it because I think about it, and I think how heavy words lay on your soul and lay on yourself. And then I think about that statement. I'm like, why can't I just remember people spew shit? Like, why can't I remember that? And so here, this is going to be a time to kind of take in that energy and take in that understanding and sit in peace with ourselves because we're done. We are done with the Five of Wands. We are done with the chaos and the pettiness and the things that like start off as, you know, you're trying to be nice or you're trying to do this and everything just escalates. Think of when little kids, you know, especially like little boys outside playing, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're roughhousing, and then all of a sudden, you know, somebody like, you know, hits too hard or, you know, whatever happens, and now it's a fight. So I always think of that when I think of the Five of Wands. And we're just done with that energy. We're done with that energy. We're not playground people anymore. And it moves us to the Five of Pentacles, not the Five of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty, abundance. You know, it's the exact opposite of the Five of Pentacles, which is poverty mentality, which we have had. I mean, there's a reason why that came up. We have had that mentality of I don't get to have it because this person gets to have it because they're more worthy than me. We have generational blessings coming forward. You might be saying, Dane, there's nothing for me to inherit, and that's fine. That's fair enough. But there is. You come from a line that has either showed you tremendous strength, tremendous love, and if they have it, they showed you how you don't want to be. With the 10 of Pentacles, you're connecting with community, you're connecting with love, you're sharing your wisdom. The 6 of Pentacles is finding balance within your world. Things have been out of balance, especially with your inner child, especially with fears that you've been carrying since you were small. And as you start to see yourself, as you start to root yourself, the root chakra is going to be very important here as well. You're going to start to say, oh, I haven't been feeding that part of me. Oh, I've been trying to make me fit into that box. Oh, I've been overwhelmed for too long, right? And it's taken the spark out of my life. And that leads us to the 9 of Wands. It leads us to this place where we feel battered and bruised and overwhelmed. We have on our armor, he has on his chainmail shirt, right? Which is heavy. But he's still gotten wounded. So we protect ourselves. We armor up, right? We build those walls, those barriers. We have all that energy around us that's stopping the energy from flowing and creating and, you know, embodying. And we're saying no. Because I have to protect myself from when the rug gets pulled out from underneath me again. I have to protect myself from when everything falls apart. And the 9 of Wands here is telling us, hey, listen, You've been strong, and you've been strong long enough, right? Nobody's going to take that strength away from you. You earned it. But now it's time not to be constantly on defense mode. Now it's time to breathe. Now it's time to look at, trying to please everyone, trying to do everything correctly and say, I'm doing it to my best. And that is enough. And it moves us to the hermit. It's interesting because we have the number 9. Number 9 is a very human number. It's a very compassionate number. We have it in the upright position, and then we have it reversed. And the hermit is needing to turn inward. It's needing to turn inward, see ourselves, heal, because the hermit comes right before the wheel of fortune, right before a new season of being. We don't want to turn inward. We want to go outside. We want to go outside. We want to see everything. We want to do everything. We are thinking, if I just go out there, then it'll be great. And yes, getting out of the house, doing things, that's important. Don't cloister yourself away. But embracing a change of ideas, embracing, looking at ourselves and saying, what do I really want? What do I really need? What's important to me? How am I healing? How am I moving forward? What is illuminating my path? And not falling into the chaotic noise of the world. That's going to be an important thing. There are obstacles to overcome, yes. And we need to see how they're weighing on our heart because we are overwhelmed. Our world is overwhelmed. We are sad. We are tired. We have fear more than we have had in a very, very long time. And it brings us to the Empress. It brings us the energy of nurturing and taking care of and creating and cultivating. And it's like I can't. And especially for those of us with creative temperaments, the fact that I can't, it can spiral you. It can make you think, well, then nothing is worth it, right? And here, it's time to nurture yourself. It's time to embrace your heart. It's time to heal. And it's also time to look at, certain dreams that we had, certain ways that we thought we would move forward and say, that dream sustained me. That dream gave me hope. That dream is a beautiful dream. And it can manifest in different ways. And I move forward in the grace of me, in the love of me, in the compassion, and being the spiritual mother to myself. Seeing myself, nurturing myself, moving me forward in ways I hadn't anticipated. And it starts to open up our doors. It starts to open up ourselves. The first step here is going to be to create. There's something you love to do, Scorpio. There's something you love to create that you haven't been. Or, you've done it with a drudging sense of obligation. And now it's time to do it out of pure joy because we need to break down the barrier that is around the Empress, that is around the claiming our kind, compassionate, loving tendency of self and seeing us move forward in ways that we kind of didn't think we could. We've been so afraid of and we've written off. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message. And that is breathe, reverse. We haven't been breathing. I know that sounds funny because we have to breathe, right? Like, Dane, of course I'm breathing. But it's giving yourself time to just breathe, to just be, to just connect. And so focusing on our breath, focusing on healing, focusing on releasing, that is going to be important. And that is important. It moves us to our chakra energy, which is soul's healing. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. It's letting that healing energy rain down on us. It's letting us move forward in grace and in kindness. It's seeing that we don't have to work, or we don't have to, not work is the wrong word. We don't have to exist at the pace of everybody else. Our life pace, our achievements, where others might be doing them at different times, can come at different times for us. And we can move forward in healing. We can move forward in love. We can move forward in a sense of seeing ourselves. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Ace of Swords, especially since we have the Queen of Swords right here, right? Being mindful of the cutting nastiness that can be our own mind. The way that we can rip ourselves apart, that we can break ourselves down, that we can say, you're not worth it because XYZ. This is a blessing card. So, what we're ripping ourselves down with, the things that are hurting the most, are supposed to be the blessings in our lives. Maybe they will manifest differently than we thought they would because we have a limited vocabulary, a limited way of being and seeing things, right? We expand, or like the universe has an endless way of comprehending, and ours is more limited. So do be aware of that. But we're cutting through so much to see ourselves, to stand in ourselves, and not to let our own mind, rip us down. Yeah, tear us down. That's going to be important. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, and that is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of passion, of creativity, of fire. It's interesting because the Hermit, you know, has the wand in his hand, right? The Nine of Wands has the wand in his hand. The Five of Wands have the wand in their hands. We have it in our hands. But we have to use our passion. It's not just to simply hold us up so we can get to the next thing, so we can move forward to the next battle. It's to illuminate the path towards our passion, towards our love for this earthly plane, towards the love of humanity and ourselves. The sense of, oh, this is me. And seeing ourselves in a way that isn't, this is what I want, or this is what I need, or this is like, this is what I have to fight for. But in a sense of like, this is who I am. This is the fire that lights my soul. This is the way I need to move forward in love and in grace of me. And that's a difference. It might be a subtle difference, but it's a powerful one. All right. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. Oh, and if you're wondering why this isn't dated, because this message will get to you whenever you need it. These are for our obstacles. This is for being overwhelmed. And this will cross your path when the message needs to be heard. So there will be no date to it. Okay. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please note this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.